If you think that the iPhone 16's new capture control button looks a bit off, a bit weird, man, you're not alone, brother. And I think I know why it just seems so off. Here's what I think went wrong.
No, God!
It moves the toggles that you usually find in the left and right hand side that's nicely, spread out to the top middle right hand side corner, creating another mini knob, taking great advantage of the 6.9-inch, super red XDR screen, of course. And Apple has far more experience designing a camera app for a touchscreen than they do for a button, because that's kind of the whole point of, touchscreen modern smartphones.
No, God, please, no!
Using this thing seems painful. If you're holding it in the portraitely orientation, which everyone does for taking pictures, or if you're taking some degenerate video, to do that holding your phone in the normal way, you're gonna have to scrunch down your thumb quite far down, which is gonna hurt your thumb ligaments. Or if you shimmy your phone down so that the scrunchingness is a bit less of your thumb, the phone becomes super top heavy and might risk falling over.
Why are you the way that you are?
To figure out what went wrong, we must first understand Apple's strategy for creating new features. And for this, we have Steve.
You've got to start with the customer experience and work backwards to the technology.
And a great example of this are iOS gestures. For instance, swiping up to go home seems kind of weird and crazy in concept, but in reality, it seems, quite natural and normal for you to sort of throw your app away back onto the home screen once you're done using it. And that's why it caught on, and now every single company makes use of the gestures and the bar thing. I know Palm did some crap, 400 years ago, but who cares? But with the button, I think they did the opposite. They started with the tech and not the human experience. I think Apple was desperate to have some kind of a physical differentiator between the 16s and the 15s, and they decided to go with a button. Then they decided it should be a camera button, and then they tried to figure out how to make this thing work, rather than what I think they should have done or would have done previously, which is to figure out a problem that there is with the existing camera app or a way it can be improved, then figuring out the button was the best way to do it, and then going off of that. And I think that the absence of the human experience as the starting point of developing the new button is why it feels so unnatural and weird, not to mention uncomfortable to use. It makes you hold your phone in an unnatural way, or who knows, maybe I'm just holding it wrong, alright? That's that could be true. It seems that the developers, were forced to come up with something at, water squirter point, and those poor souls drunk this thing along. I'm not calling them dumb, alright? These engineers run the world, they're super smart, but it seems like they didn't do what they usually do.
You can't start with the technology and try to figure out where you're going to try to sell it.
Now look, I can be wrong. Maybe this thing is like the greatest thing ever, and then every Android phone has magically an extra button there. But I don't see that happening in the current form. I think Apple kind of shit themselves on the foot by calling it the capture control button, which means that it can only be used for camera related functions, which I think greatly limits the capability of having, this pressure sensitive, gesture sensitive button. I think a universal kind of app would have been quite interesting. Get rid of the action button and just leave this there. What do you guys think about the capture button? Am I wrong? Am I right? Is it the truth that must be carved into the Bible itself? Like and subscribe really helps out with my passion project over here. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.